On this episode of Two Below. News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away. Okay, wait a minute. So fake penis and blindfold are in the title of this article.
A lot, yeah.
All right, I'm interested.
Yeah, I know, right? You had me at fake penis.
Underneath the surfaceless, worthless information lays. Open up your mind.
Edible panties, $2 and a stabbing.
Let yourself unwind.
See, that's why I don't ever trust hookers.
Two below, we must go. Feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize. Don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit. Now, his first reaction is to get up and run into the house, straight to the bathroom, and shut the door.
My dick! Ah!
Like quicksand, you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below, we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below, we're on our way, delivering Synosia. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing fairly well. It's another beautiful day outside, a little bit too hot. How about yourself, John?
You know, I am doing exceptionally well today, and you want to know why?
I do. Exceptional is quite the word to use. So
yeah,
I
it really
do.
is. So we did so well last episode that we didn't give Miss Smarty Pants enough ammunition to come tell us what we did wrong today.
So that's fantastic.
Yes.
So we did it. We actually we gave people some good facts and information.
Right.
Without screwing them over a little bit.
Right. So, you know, I'm really happy about that. And, but our listeners might be sad because they're not going to get any Miss Smarty Pants today.
I know. The catchy tune and all. Like, it's just, it's a whole package.
So what do you say we make it up to them by maybe we throw in a couple extra little stories today?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a couple short ones along with the rest of the weird, crazy things we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So, you know, let's give the listeners, you know, maybe one or two little extra nuggets to listen to today.
A few nugs of knowledge. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. So where are you thinking about starting the day off?
I'm thinking we head on over to North Carolina.
Okay.
And talk about, you know, picking up furniture on the side of the road.
Hey, I like North Carolina, and I am not too proud to say that I've picked up furniture on the side of the road before.
I've done that as well, especially back in my college years.
Right.
Back when I was in Denton, you know.
Hey, you know, that's a perfectly good couch.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up like a 62-inch. It was an old, what are the projection TV?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the ones that are like 13 feet wide. And,
right. They've got the red, green, and blue light.
Exactly.
It's in the front of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I picked one of those up. Turns out I'd have to pay like $500 to get it working, so it wasn't worth it. But so we've all picked up some furniture. Well, there is a guy in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. His name is Whitney Biggerstaff, and
love that name.
And it's such a great name, Biggerstaff. It's better than Smaller Staff or anybody else. He has a small moped that he drives around town, and I guess he saw a huge, massive couch on the side of the road.
Yes.
About 2 miles from where he lives, and I'm talking an actual large couch, like a 3-seater couch. He just slings this over his lap in a little scooter, and some passerby snapped a photo of this guy. And, you know, hey, take a look at the link we have with the podcast to see this article and this picture, because...
Yeah, I cracked up when I opened up the link to this and saw the picture of this guy riding down literally the middle of the road.
The middle of the road.
Like a 4-lane highway, literally riding down the middle of the 2 lanes.
3-lane.
Oh, yes, 3-lane.
3-lane.
Yes.
3-lane.
I did not see that lack of lane on the other side.
It seems like it could be one. But, I mean, who would ever pick something up on a small little moped like that?
That's just crazy.
It looks like a little moped to me, a little scooter.
Right.
Little, you know, like 50 horsepower, something, I guess.
And, you know, it's not like it's that great of a couch.
No.
I mean, I could see saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to risk doing something absolutely insane that might totally wreck my scooter for this nice leather couch that I just came across.
Yeah. But not cheap looking old manila fabric from like the 70s or something. I don't know what this guy was thinking, and I just assume he made it home.
Yeah.
But there it is in North Carolina. Here's what the person who took a photo of this guy, his last name was McMillan, he said, "The things you see in little old Lexington." I guess that's just par for the course out there. I don't know.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So that's really it. It's
I noticed in the article he said that he had been known to be seen carrying all kinds of crazy stuff.
Oh, it did say that in there, did it?
On his scooter. And but I think he said this was the biggest thing that he ever tried to haul.
It makes sense because there's a quote here. It says, "I don't need 2 men in a truck when you can do 1 man in a scooter."
Yes.
All right, thanks, bigger staff. We'll keep that in mind.
Fun story. Why don't we talk about a man dragging a dead raccoon?
Okay. I was not expecting you to say dead raccoon.
Right.
Let's talk about that. What's going on there?
So I came across this article. Simple Mason County man shot after dead raccoon that he was dragging was mistaken for a dog.
He was shot for this.
Yes, he was shot.
This poor man.
Yes. The genesis of this was a guy who came across this roadkill raccoon. Shirtless, just, kind of backwoods, guy in, I think this is in Washington State.
Looks like it, yeah.
Allen, Washington. It's Mason County Sheriff's Department who was involved in this. But he was just going to use this in his cooking. He was going to use it for bait in his crab pot.
And it's raccoon.
Right.
What does raccoon taste?
It's a dead raccoon.
What's that taste like?
I don't know, but apparently it's good for catching crabs.
And it's good. Okay, wow. I don't know. So this guy is just dragging this raccoon.
Yeah. Right down the street.
Just right down the street.
I mean, so it's tied to like a rope and he's dragging it.
I can see that here.
It looks like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet behind him, something like that. So it's not right on him. It smells really bad. Actually, it said it smelled really bad.
It's got to.
In the article. Yeah, so people actually saw this and called the police. The police actually came out and talked to this guy. They found out what he was doing. He wasn't doing anything illegal. He found this roadkill. He was going to take it and use it for bait. And so they left him alone. They offered to give him a ride, but they wouldn't put his dead raccoon in the trunk because it smelled so bad. So he declined and said he just kept on walking down the road. So it wasn't but just a couple minutes later, apparently, that some guy pulls up in a truck who thought he was pulling a dead dog down the road got into an altercation with him, shot the dude in the leg.
What?
And then took off.
So this is just like some vigilante guy.
Right.
After this poor old guy dragging this thing had an amiable...
He thought he was being a hero. And he was just shooting a guy that was, trying to go catch some food.
Yeah, he's the hero none of us deserve or want or need.
Right.
The raccoon dragon killer.
But just the picture of this guy dragging a raccoon, apparently they got a lot of calls into 911 about people that passed this guy on the road. But he's walking on the road. He doesn't have a shirt on. He looks really disheveled.
Really disheveled.
Yeah, he really does. He's pretty backwoods.
And it's kind of hard to understand when he talks too. Like it's kind of like this slurred.
There's in the article itself. There's some video of this guy being filmed by a passerby. So if you guys are interested, you can actually go take a look at what this guy was dragging.
So did they catch this guy who shot him?
No, so they're still looking for him. They've got a reward out. I think $1,000. They're offering $1,000 if anybody has any information leading. There's a hotline 1-800-222-TIPS. So they're still looking for this guy.
So hang on, if I could just interject real quick. It says here that when the guy was aiming the gun at the raccoon dragger, that this caller who had called the police said, now the guy is swinging the raccoon around. Does that mean he had him by the ropes just swinging him?
That tells me this guy wasn't going to put up with any shit.
No.
With this guy who got out of his truck and pulled a gun on him.
Yeah, screw the gun.
So
man.
he's swinging his dead raccoon around, throwing who knows what kind of entrails
disease
and stuff around.
Just raccoon nasty, just left and right, man. Garbage panda.
Dude, wouldn't you just instantly get back in your truck and leave if you were that guy?
Oh, that's a raccoon. I'm out.
That's a fucking dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No, wrong guy. You're good. Keep your raccoon, friend. Keep going. I feel bad for that. He just wanted to use it for bait in his crab pot.
Yeah.
But the first time I heard the article, I thought crab pot was like one of those like family get together meals, and so I thought he was going to eat it. Right. But he's not. His bait is what he was going to use it for.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Dragging a dead raccoon down the highway.
People do everything, all sorts of stuff.
Man, that whole stretch of road is just going to stink now with the smell of that raccoon being drug around.
I imagine that's pretty common out there.
Yep. Well, why don't we stay in the animal kingdom?
I think that's a great idea. Move over from perhaps raccoons to maybe spiders.
I love a good spider story.
I really don't, to be honest. I really don't. I hate spiders.
Miss Smarty Pants hates spiders too.
I am. In fact, last time I saw a spider video was over here, and you guys really freaked me out with it. So it was some crazy jumping spider some guy tried to catch, and he didn't catch it.
Yes.
And that was that. I didn't go back home and look at more of it. I didn't look at any other spider videos. And so, spiders. Here's what this article is all about. It says, spider the size of a thumbnail shoots web 80 feet across river. And then it says, of course, viewers can't handle it.
80 feet?
80 feet. Now, to give you an idea of this, let me tell you a little bit about the spider first. The spider is called the Darwin's bark spider.
Oh, what a great name.
It's a really great name. It was discovered in Madagascar in 2009, and it actually is named after Charles Darwin, I read in the wiki.
Oh, this thing is creepy looking.
It looks incredibly creepy. And to give you a good idea of the size, so the females vary in total body length from about 18 to 22 millimeters, or 0.7 to 0.9 inches.
Okay.
The males are very small. It says here 1/3 or less of the female's length at about 6 millimeters or 0.2 inches.
So how do they even have 80 feet worth of web just to shoot? I mean, they're so small.
I don't think there's nothing in this article that mentions how they have so much web inside them.
I mean, are they creating it as it's being shot? That's just insane.
You're asking the real questions here that maybe Miss Smarty Pants can follow up on. But it says, so what this creature does is it essentially, like if they're in this video there's a large river it's trying to cross to spin its web, I guess. It sits on one side and it waits for the breeze to pick up. And it just starts spinning its web. And now don't imagine just one single strand. Okay, it actually is it's like a bridge. And this strand shoots out to multiple strands, maybe 10, 15. And it makes a bridge. And every so often the spider will crimp the web to keep the bridge from getting too wide as the wind is carrying it across the river.
Interesting.
And I guess it just has to get lucky that it's actually going to attach to something on the other end. What it mentioned, though, it's not, in many cases, it's not for it to cross. It's for it to now dangle down, because this is what they call an orb weaver spider. And I guess this is part of their hunting style.
Interesting.
It's a very small spider, and it can shoot 82 feet, or I think it says up to 25 meters, a little bit over 25 meters. And it even says this very spider silk is actually the toughest biological material ever studied. It's over 10 times tougher than Kevlar, and this spider silk is actually twice as tough as any other spider silk that's known.
So is this the spider that is going to ultimately create Spider-Man?
This is where it starts.
Wow.
I think Spider-Man can shoot exactly 82 feet of web out of his hand.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I just might have made that up on the spot.
And it's super strong.
And it's super strong, 10 times stronger than Kevlar, so I feel like he could be
I've seen him hold up buses with that stuff.
Yeah.
So, pick up falling bridges. Yeah, so
I think it's similar. So
interesting.
So look, there is a video of this. If you want to see the video, come check out the article link with the podcast, and just be prepared to be amazed, and then hope that you never run into this thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because this is you ever wonder, hey, how'd this mystery web, where'd this web come from? This is I imagine this sort of spider. He shot his web from 60 feet out, man. I'm not really one that cares too much about spiders. Now, I don't like them when I see them, but they don't freak me out. Right.
Miss Smarty Pants is on the opposite end of that spectrum. So I can totally understand how somebody who is probably about half the population at least.
You guys make a good pair.
Just cannot stand the sight of a spider.
I'm right there with her.
Which
can't stand it.
Apparently there's, I want to say is 1 or 2 spiders within 8 feet of everybody at all times.
I read that
or something like that.
And I know there's some fact you eat a spider X amount of times a year just because they crawl in your mouth and you're just
right. Spiders actually outweigh the mass of humans on Earth right now and could take us over at any given time.
I wish you had told me that one. I really wish. Hey,
maybe Miss Smarty Pants will correct me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, I think she's going to have a lot of ammo off of this one. Unfortunately, I figure we could end with this great quote that a viewer of this article said. and they said all that web came from one tiny spider. If 25 meters of anything came out of me, I would die. So I thought that was I was like, yeah. Kind of to go back to your question.
But I'm pumped. Nice. I got a quick hit story here for you.
All right.
Since we talked about UFOs in our last episode, and we got corrected about UFOs in Miss Smarty Pants.
Keeping UFO theme going, I guess.
That's right. And we teased a UFO episode or story in episode 4 that we never actually talked about.
It's true.
So I actually came across this article, and it's real short, but I think this was Long Island, New York, the number of UFO sightings over the last, I want to say it was 14 years, since 2001, so 15, 16 years, there have been over 800 UFO sightings.
In one location? Where?
In just
Long
one
Island?
location, just in Long Island.
800, over 800.
Over 800, spread out across many years. But, and in this data, they are taking out things that could have been things like airplanes and jets, known generators of lights in the sky.
So this number is this is the filtered number of potentially good UFO sightings.
Right. Yeah. So there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It was just an article talking about the frequency of UFO sightings.
I didn't realize that the frequency was that high.
I didn't either. When you hear people talk about UFOs, you think of Roswell, right? Mm-hmm. New Mexico or
Area 51.
Right. You think somewhere kind of out in the desert, not populated, easy to hide, right? You don't really think of Long Island.
Of all places. That's just, it's such a high number too. It makes me wonder what other numbers are across the U.S., across the world for sightings.
Yeah. I've never really spent a whole lot of time looking into the current research of UFOs, but as we are looking for interesting and weird, strange stories, I'm starting to see more of these, and they're catching my eye. So I'm starting to read more.
It's a definite trend. When you start looking for weird stories out there, UFOs come up a lot.
Well, they are weird stories, right?
Let me pose a question to you here, John. Have you ever seen what you think could be a UFO before? Weird lights in the sky?
Well, I asked you that question.
Did you?
Last episode, so I think it is fair turnaround.
Oh, it's my turn now.
That's right. And I want to say that I have, but I think I would have to classify it as things I can't explain.
Okay.
Right. So it still could have been
something else.
I'm not saying it was a UFO.
Yeah.
But I've seen really odd groupings of lights that go in weird directions at weird speeds that seem more like shooting stars than ships, and then slowing down and speeding up. And it's just really odd.
Make you wonder.
But I also know that there's technology out there that is not really very public still. And it's been like that for a long, long time.
Yeah. And, you think about the way people say, the UFO lights, they move instantly, right? Up, down, left.
Yes.
Drones and things can do those kinds of maneuvers these days.
Yep.
Just instantaneous changes in direction.
Right. And you think that drones are new? No, man. They've had drone technology.
No, there's nothing new about drones.
Right.
Just the fact that we have technology smaller now.
Exactly.
And that it can get into consumer hands. But,
right.
Oh, you better believe. Oh, but for me personally, I had one experience.
Okay. That
I was able to prove 4 seconds after it happened. I knew exactly what it was, but I was so positive for those 4 seconds that it was a UFO. Have you ever seen those street lamps that they are like a circle of lights at the very top of it, but it's hollow. It's like the street lamp post goes all the way up.
Okay.
And normally there'd be maybe a light right on the top or a light that comes off on a little branch.
Yeah.
These were actually, they had hollow space around the post that goes all the way up, and they had a ring of lights around it.
Okay.
So you can already see how it's circular in nature looking. I was driving in Waco, Texas, and it was super foggy. It was so foggy. Visibility maybe was 6 feet. And we had decided to pull over, my ex and I. And I look up, and there's one of those lampposts with the circular lights on there. And because of the fog, all I could see was this perfect circle of lights. And I thought for sure, I was like, well, look at this UFO. I just remember being so positive about it. And then immediately, I don't know if it was a gust of wind or something. I immediately saw it was a light post, and I was like, idiots. But it made me realize how easy it could be.
Yeah.
I got lucky.
Right.
Like
if that gust of wind had never come,
Yeah.
you still might, to this very day, believe that you saw a UFO.
I could be a tinfoil hat master right now, just.
Man.
So
that was a life-defining moment right there.
It was. It actually got my heart racing. I remember when it happened.
Interesting.
It was like I really wanted it to be like this is happening,
right.
But
I mean, who doesn't want to know that there's intelligent life somewhere else?
If they immediately come down and beam me and melt me or something,
right, which is more than likely what they'll end up doing if they do exist.
But at least let me see you first, and
right.
So I'm like, I knew it, Okay, I'm ready. Take me out. Take me out.
You're gonna say I knew it, and then immediately get like vapor blasted.
Yeah, vapor blasted, similar to flavor blasting.
Right. Well, what other stories do we have that would go with flavor blasting?
Well, tea, snacks, and napping, naturally.
Well, yeah, I'm always
flavor blasting your naps. Okay.
I was actually going to say flavor blasting my tea. Flavor blasting a nap makes no sense, Matt. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I thought that's where you were going, and I was trying to connect the dots, and there was no connection, man.
So you sent me a story about this guy, right?
Yeah.
It had tea and a snack and a nap, or in some various order of those. Yeah,
look, here's what's going on. It's out in Nova Scotia, Timberlake, Nova Scotia, to be exact, which is out in Canada. It's just this. It's a drunk man enters a Nova Scotia home for a cup of tea, a snack, and a nap.
Hey.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really wrong with that.
He wasn't trying to rob them or anything. He just wanted a little something to drink and take a little nap.
Yeah, it says this man entered this. Now, I will say this was an unlocked home in Timberlake.
Well, then that's like an invitation.
It's an invitation. I mean, if I'm a drunk guy walking around and the door's unlocked, it's my house.
It means come in.
It means come in.
Right.
And,
might as well have been an open sign.
I think that's what this guy took this to mean, because he had a cup of tea with some jam on a tortilla wrap.
Nice.
Before falling into a deep sleep in the living room sofa.
How much do you think he had to root around in the kitchen before he figured out where everything was or found what he wanted?
I bet everything was exactly where he expected it to be.
So just like he knew, he just went straight to the fridge like he lived there for his entire life.
He was like, boom, pantry, tea bags, got him, boom, fridge, get the jam, get the tortilla wraps.
Probably right.
I think he's just that drunk state of mind. Their place is his place. It's all good.
Right.
So it says this 20-year-old Beaverbank man is facing charges of being unlawfully in a dwelling house, illegal possession, and 3 counts of breach of probation. So I guess he's breaching probation. He's done this before.
I'm kind of confused about that one part of this sentence, dwelling house.
Of being unlawfully isn't a house a dwelling?
Right. Is that kind of redundant? Well, I guess this is Canada.
It's Canada.
So
it's a dwelling house, man.
Sorry, Canada.
We love you guys. We love you guys.
Wow.
So hey, the Mounties up there in Canada, I guess that's like the police force.
Yep, the RCMP.
Mm-hmm. They just want to say, hey, remind everyone, lock your doors. That's just lock your doors.
Lock your
unless you want a guest. I mean,
right. And if you don't lock your doors, make sure you leave out some food and your tea on the counter.
Yeah.
Maybe put a pillow and a little blanket on the couch.
It's like a lot of people do for Santa Claus with milk and cookies, man.
Right.
Just, leave some stuff out for your drunken friends.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I hope that nothing too bad happens to this guy. He was just looking for a little snack.
And it sounds like he got it. I mean, some jam on a tortilla wrap sounds pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
When you're drunk,
right?
Everything's amazing.
I mean, come on.
So,
well, speaking of drunk and snacks, that's a perfect lead-in to our next story. And the headlines of this, I'm always talking about the headlines. That's the first thing that grabs me, right?
It's the attention getter.
So this headline says $2 payment, a prostitution stabbing involved edible panties and a $2 payment.
Okay, edible panties, $2, and a stabbing.
Yes.
Okay.
So why wouldn't who would not want to click on this to see?
It's like you got to go deep into this.
Clickbait. I'm definitely suspect. So as soon as I open this up, the picture of the woman in this article will terrify you.
You're not lying. This is, It's like man meets gorilla, kind of.
Oh my God. Yes. This is like the woman you do not want to see in a dark alley. Yeah. This is scary, man. So she apparently had hooked up with this 70-year-old man in, I think it's Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And so they got to hanging out, and apparently they had agreed to exchange sex for money.
Okay, that sounds like a natural.
It happens, right? You know, scary woman of your nightmares makes a prostitution deal with this 70-year-old man, and they said fine, and went off and had their encounter.
They did their thing. Yeah,
right.
natural. It's natural.
Right, it is. And then afterwards, of course, she asked for payment. And in addition to the money that she asked for, she demanded some edible panties.
Now that's super weird in and of itself.
Right.
But what kind of money are we talking about alongside the panties?
$2. Wait a minute.
So,
In quarters.
Even worse, better.
$2 in quarters.
I'm so confused though. Don't you normally agree to a price beforehand?
Right.
I mean, not like I would know, but
you
like,
would think they discussed it. And apparently she wasn't upset about the money. The $2 was, hey man, perfect.
That was
$2. That's
great.
Exactly all. That's what I asked for. But
so this was like a happy ending. $2 edible panties.
$2, and she wanted the edible panties. But no, this was far from a happy ending because he refused to give her a pair. And
does that mean he had a pair?
That part really kind of confused me because
they don't mention it.
Right. Who just walks around carrying edible panties with them?
And what I'm imagining, like the Smarties panties, or like where you eat those little round hard candies off of like a G-string or something.
Right. You know, yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe that's his thing. And he gave her a pair for their encounter.
Oh, maybe so.
And then when they were done, she was like, I want a snack.
Yo, I'm hungry.
Give me another pair of those panties.
That $2 isn't going to give me anything.
Right. I want some panties. Give me some edible panties. They look like fruit roll-ups.
So
so they got into an argument, and apparently she stabbed him in the arm.
That's the natural course of events that I was expecting.
Left the apartment.
So she didn't get the panties. She stabs him.
No, because he refused to give her the panties.
Wow. See, that's why I don't ever trust hookers.
It's a good reason.
Yeah.
Right.
You never know when you're going to get stabbed, man.
Right. Just make sure you have a couple extra pair of edible panties and you'll probably be okay.
I'm surprised he's alive after looking at this.
No
champion
kidding.
of times here.
Right. Yeah. You know, that thing did not just scratch the surface.
No, she pinned him up through like a 12-foot concrete wall, probably. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of a funny, crazy story about a really interesting looking woman who wanted her some edible panties.
She is
and
never,
$2 in quarters.
She is never going to leave my mind.
Right.
And I tell you what, now that we're on the subject of hookers, and prostitutes and things of that nature, how about we switch gears a little bit and talk about a UK woman who was found guilty of using a fake penis and a blindfold to trick her female friend into sex.
Okay, wait a minute. So fake penis and blindfold are in the title of this article.
A lot, yeah.
All right, I'm interested.
Yeah, I know, right? You had me at fake penis.
All right.
So here we go. It was a British woman who has apparently been found guilty for using a fake penis, like you heard, with her female friend. But this is not the first time. This apparently has happened to her before. Her name's Gail Newland, and apparently what she did is, well, she tricked her friend. She essentially went out with her and forced her to wear a blindfold so she could never see who this person was. And it got so ridiculous, like they would go to movies, right? How do you watch a movie together blindfolded? They would go sunbathe together. They would go for drives together.
So let me clarify here a little bit. So this woman faked being a man.
She's faking being a man.
through, I guess, like an online dating, Facebook or something.
Yes. It says it's her. It was. Yeah. Did it say where they meet? I'm looking right now here.
So she basically tricks this woman into thinking that she's somebody else. Mm-hmm. Says, hey, you've got to wear a blindfold.
Which is a red flag. Come on.
Right.
Wear a blindfold, really?
I mean, unless you're into that kind of thing.
I mean, maybe, but all the time.
Right. Maybe that was kind of a fetish, and she decided to take advantage of that. Said,
which, she could be playing off that.
She looked for somebody with a blindfold fetish to start with. Interesting. Wow.
And she came, so the woman who was sort of getting this other woman to wear the blindfold and things like that, she would have to come up with excuses, right, to why it is important for her to wear the blindfold, which included telling her that he had been badly injured and disfigured, he being the woman who's pretending to be a man, and was recovering from a brain tumor operation, and also found out that he wore bandages on his chest because of a heart condition. So essentially this woman made up a bunch of random crap to trick this woman.
Right. Everything that she needed to hide her female organs.
And so, hey, they even say during intercourse, during sex, she would be blindfolded. She would be asked to keep her eyes covered. And this woman, pretending to be a man, would, don the fake penis and rock out.
This woman needs to write a book on how to pick up women.
Apparently it works.
I mean, she doesn't even have a penis, and she totally...
She's rocking it.
Right.
She's out there, hey, more than some guys, maybe.
Wow, she just one of the guys and actually took it to the whole next level of fake penis and penetration.
She did, and now she has to register as a sex offender.
Wow.
So that's probably going to tarnish
her. How do you not get a clue at some point? Or, I mean, are you... I know, I hate to say this. Mm-hmm. This may be controversial. After so many encounters with this woman and wearing a blindfold and, don't open your eyes during sex.
Yeah.
It's at some point, where's her responsibility in this equation come in? She really had no idea.
None.
I have a hard time.
Something's got to be
with that.
It seems fishy. And I mean, if you look down at the bottom of the article, there's a photo of the woman that she tricked, into dating, and it kind of speaks volumes a little bit to me, at least. It's like, oh, okay, maybe now I see why this was working.
Yeah, wear a blindfold.
Yeah, please wear a blindfold.
Wow,
you just can't. I don't know how anybody would ever fall for this. This to me is so ridiculous and so out of this world.
Wow, it is wild though, and so this woman is actually going to jail. She's being charged with a crime.
Yeah,
she's having to register, you said, right, as a sex offender.
Well, it says she'll be required to register as a sex offender and will be sentenced on July 20th of this month. So
so she hasn't been sentenced yet, so I don't know. Probably some jail time, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's really going to be screwed in jail.
Wow, that's crazy. She'll probably like it.
Yeah, she probably. She'll probably
be doing the screwing.
Yeah, she needs that fake penis, I think.
Wow. Interesting. Well, speaking of penis, right, why don't we end the episode talking about a real penis?
All right, end with a bang.
Flesh and blood and literally a bang. You have no idea. Or actually, you probably do.
I did not.
So, Jacksonville man, back down in Florida, he sits on a gun and shot himself in the dick.
I'm like kind of, my butt's clenching over here.
Oh, it's painful to even hear, isn't it?
Shooting yourself in the dick.
Yes.
That is like immediately take me to the hospital.
Right.
Because all that is me is now at risk.
So I would have thought the same thing, but apparently this guy.
Oh no.
His immediate reaction is to get up. So the gun was sitting in the passenger seat of his car.
Okay.
So I guess he didn't realize it was there. He pops down into the seat like he's going to grab something.
Sits maybe out of the dash or something.
Just bam. And gun shot himself right in the dick.
Says it's a Nissan Altima.
Right.
Okay.
And his first reaction is to get up and run into the house, straight to the bathroom, and shut the door.
My dick. Ah! What else would you do? You'd be freaking out.
He ran inside and, well, he probably wanted to look and didn't want to pull his pants down outside maybe.
Yeah. Didn't want other people to
Could
see.
you imagine the horror scene that bathroom must have turned into?
It's got to be like a bloodbath.
Oh, wow. Like literally a bloodbath.
Yeah, man. Just dudes out, dicks out, blood's flying everywhere. Like, imagine if someone opened the door.
So they actually, I don't know if it says the relation of the person, but somebody that was there at the house drove him to the hospital.
Okay, that was nice. I wonder how
Right.
far that drive was.
Seriously, would you get ambulance?
Just call
Really?
911.
So, yeah.
So this poor guy.
But still, yeah. So he shot himself right in the dick, and it was 3 a.m.
Dude, that's the worst time to shoot. I mean, there's never a great time to, shoot
Yeah.
yourself in the D, but like 3 a.m. is terrible.
It's really not going to end up well for this guy.
I wonder what the recovery looks like for that. Like,
I wonder how much got shot off, or if it was just like shot
man.
through, or
What if he shot just the whole thing off?
just like skimmed it and just like opened up a canal.
Oh, just a whole new pathway. Why are we? Maybe we'll get an article about it someday.
Oh man, but yeah,
Find out.
I feel for this guy because not only is he having to deal with that, but because he was already a convicted felon,
Oh, no.
he was not allowed to own a gun.
Well, he's going to be convicted and charged for
so-
firearm possession.
He's unfortunately gonna get the double whammy, one right in the penis.
I wish the cops would go easy on him.
Man, I would hope so.
It's like, man, you shot
there's any,
yourself.
if at any point a judge should be lenient on a guy, it's this case. I mean, come on.
Yeah, okay.
He is already having to endure being shot in the penis.
It's enough.
Give the man a break.
Come on, it's like his life has been just shitting all over him.
Yes,
Let this guy-
I plead to the judge in this case to be lenient on this guy.
Let him breathe a little bit. My gosh,
Yes, just let it breathe.
just let him breathe. Let the D breathe.
Oh yes. So yeah. So man, what an episode we had today. We talked about
Hookers,
hookers and
UFOs,
guys dragging dead raccoons down the road.
edible panties.
Yeah, so, a new moving company that uses nothing but scooters,
Yeah, little tiny scooters and man,
and then
it's just-
shooting yourself in the penis.
which is just if you're gonna finish off an episode, it's with a penis shot.
That's right.
It's the best
Everybody's
way to
ready
go.
to get at their day now after
Yeah.
hearing that story.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I think that's all we're going to talk about today. So
this was a good one. I had fun.
It was a lot of fun. I hope
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed it, and we will see you guys in exactly 1 week.
All right, we'll see y'all then, and take it easy.
News today like tooth decay, slowly rot your brain away. Underneath the surface, less worthless information lays. Open up your mind, let yourself unwind. Two below we must go, feel the flow, it goes for days. Listen up or vandalize, don't need your eyes to hear this. Podcast elevated, educated, real shit. Like quicksand you'll sink and you'll blink and it's over. Two below we will go, so keep your damn composure. Two below we're on our way, delivering Synosia.